pay down that utilization, and then, like I said, go get you some secured credit cards, and you can definitely boost your score.
Once you know the game and once you get the right information, then getting these removed ain't gonna be no problem.
Yep.
Are you somebody out there with bad credit that wants to know what you can do to improve your credit to get up to 6 figures or more to start or scale that business or just do whatever it is that you want to do with that funding? Well, I'm here with the Barnetts. They're the subject matter experts here on this channel to teach us all things related to credit and funding, and they're going to break down how that's possible. So I'm going to throw it over to y'all, right? So if somebody wanted to get 50,000, 100,000 or more in credit, can you kind of like share with us any students y'all helped, or how would that process go?
Yeah, so we have like 2 students in particular. They started with us probably in like late February, almost March, right? Collections, charge-offs, and then some inquiries that were on their credit report. And we know how collections and charge-offs, they're going to hold you back from anything. So they were able to use AI actually to remove those collections and charge-offs from their credit. From there, they just structured their credit properly, made sure they added on enough accounts. And then at that point, they were able to apply with certain banks, like the credit unions that were in their city. They got an approval for $50K at one time. They were able to go get a couple more approvals that pretty much equaled over 6 figures in funding. But all they had to do was remove those collections and charge-offs. And once they did that, their score shot up, their profile was good, and they were able to walk in and walk out with the money.
All right, and just to date this video, since you said they came to you February, March time frame, it's the 1st of June now. So we're talking about a few short months they were able to secure that funding. So it wasn't like it took them years and years to get it, right? Now, were these people that you helped, were they like super 6-7 figure earners, or was these average people? Because a lot of people think that the average person can't do something like that.
Now, these actually average people just working regular 9 to 5s. But only thing, they just got the information and they apply the information. And sometimes that's all we got to do. We just got to be action takers. When we get this information, we just got to go all in with it.
Exactly. Because they had been they've been working on their credit, before us. They just didn't have the techniques and things on how to remove the stuff that was on their credit. They probably got it removed within like 2-3 weeks. There was like, y'all some magicians and stuff. So we got it done. And from there, all we had to do, like Todd mentions, like, get your profile together. Just had to put a couple things on their credit to make it, to make it look better. And then from there it was game on. These approvals actually came early May. So they've had it down for a little while, but they've been able to invest and buy like a couple like digital stores and other things they've been investing in as well too with that money.
All right, so we need to get our credit right first, and then we can start getting to the money so that way we can do whatever it is we need to do. So let's spend a little time getting to the money, right? So I heard you say, and I'm just trying to make sure that we get the steps right. We're going to keep it high level because I got a South Carolina education, but you guys stay tuned to the end. I'm going to show you how you can connect directly with them, get all your questions answered, and figure out everything you need to know for your unique situation. So if we wanted to get the funding, the first thing I guess is to see what's on our credit report.
Yes.
All right. Can everything be removed, or are there certain things that you just gonna have to wait till you pay that off? Because I hear that a lot too. Somebody might say, well, I got some student loans, or I co-signed for somebody and they ain't paid the bill.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything can be removed. Like when it comes to bankruptcy, they can be removed. They're a little bit more stickier. But when it comes to inquiries, when it comes to closed accounts that's in the negative, we pretty much remove all of that.
Yeah, but we have to understand there's so many consumer laws and data breaches and things that are involving our credit that have caused things to happen, that you can use that. And y'all, just using like simple AI tools will help get those things removed so that you can move on with your life. Like one of the big misconceptions, like you mentioned, people want to say, I got to wait 7 years for that. Like, no, you really don't. You don't have to wait 7 years or pay everything off before getting it removed from your credit. Because once it's removed from your credit, that's automatically going to help your credit score so that you can actually go do what you need to do, or your credit profile, I should say. So you got to make sure that you don't let that hold you up, because the difference between somebody saying, I ain't got nothing but one medical bill on their credit, that one medical bill can keep you from getting that approval versus just getting it removed. Like, look up, see, 1681, like all those consumer laws like that can help you get that stuff removed pretty quick.
All right, and I know you say you don't got to wait 7 years for a bankruptcy. Do you got to wait for anything? Like if I got evicted and now my credit is kind of in the dump, do I got to wait a while? Or like, can I start building my credit right away?
You honestly should start building it right away, because 70 to 80% of every credit report has some type of error. So even if you have that eviction on your credit report, there's a high chance that it's probably being reported incorrectly across the 3 credit reporting agencies. So just looking at that, examining it, using AI to help you figure out how to get that removed, it can be done. Like, so as soon as you notice something on your credit report, start looking for discrepancies. Start thinking about permissible purpose. Start thinking about any consumer law that you might be able to use to get it removed from your credit.
Absolutely, because like Keisha say, 9 times out of 10 it's a mistake, even if you do got that eviction, because this is the credit bureau's job, is to make sure that these items stay on our credit reports. And it's our job to help y'all get them removed. So like she said, once you know the game and once you get the right information, then getting these removed ain't gonna be no problem.
Yep.
All right. I like that y'all mentioned too that you could do this with AI. The viewer watching this, and myself included, we know that we're capable of getting access to 50,000, 100,000, even if we never had that kind of money before in life. But we may be a little bit intimidated by what it takes to do. Like, will this actually work for us? So when you say AI, artificial intelligence, like, how sophisticated is that for us to be able to do it? Can the average person use this AI? And I know you guys will talk more about it in the 5-day challenge, but just like, how smart, I guess, do I gotta be to use this AI to get stuff corrected on my report?
Listen, we've got one student. All you got to be able to do is copy and paste, right? And I think all of us out here can copy and paste. If you can pull up a credit report and copy and paste some things on there and type a couple sentences in, just telling it what you want removed, you can do it. Like, we have one student. She came to us probably in January. Had some collections and charge-offs again. She had like a repo as well too. So that repo was one thing that was like, she was really, really worried about getting off. But she was able to use that technique with the AI and, and being able to copy and paste and put it in the program. She used that. It removed the repo. It removed every collection she had, and she even cleared up a couple inquiries too. Now with that, her score, she probably started in like low 500. She's like at 750 now. Simply from using that technique. And that only took her maybe 2 or 3 months. But that's simply because, you have to go through different rounds of credit repair. No lie, but you have to, do that. And she stuck with it. It didn't take her 6 months, didn't take her a year. But that repo, let's say if we sat there and waited, it's going to be on there well over probably 7 years, because the credit bureaus might do something called re-aging. So while we're sitting there thinking it's going to fall off, it's probably not. So she went ahead and just used that technique, got it removed in a couple months, and was done.
Absolutely, guys. Stop listening to people telling you gotta wait 7 years when you can actually have this done in 7 weeks. Like Keisha said, the longer we wait, the longer it's gonna take. Listen, once we get started, it's a game changer.
All right. So it's no reason whether we are elderly, whether we got a felony, whether we got a repo, a eviction, charge off, anything like that, unpaid bills. We should take action now to see what's on it, make sure that it's reported correctly. If it's not reported correctly, get that removed. Then after we go through that process, you were saying just having stuff taken off of your credit may not be enough, because did you say that there's also things you need to have on it as well?
Yeah.
So just as important as getting the bad stuff off, when we say get the good stuff on there, what's some examples of good stuff that you want actually on your credit?
So when it comes to that, JT, like you said, you can't take away without add. And like we discussed earlier, like, it's going to be the credit builder accounts.
Okay.
You want to go on there and add the credit builder account, stuff like Self, Kovo, or Meet Ava. Those are going to help you.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like the primary, like we talked about primary accounts, putting things in your names, because a lot of times, like, when we mess up our credit, because that's like, I messed up my credit before. I had to fix my own credit, like removing some collections and things. But when I did that, like, I was able to remove like 2 hospital collections and then added on like the Kovo and the rent, like, to my credit, and that boosted my score over 100 points in less than 30 days. And it didn't take, I've been sitting with that collection on my report, I know, for months, but just didn't know what to do about it. Just kind of left it there, considered paying it, but I'm like all of us, we consider paying it, but I'm like, I really don't want to pay it. You know what I mean? You may not have the money to pay it, but when you get it removed, that alleviates your score a whole lot. But then when you add on, like, I removed that, but like I said, my score didn't move as much. But once I added on those things to my credit, it helped it out tremendously, because now I'm balancing things out. I'm adding good payment history. I'm making everything, it looks better. My profile looks better. So by doing that, it helps. Like, for me, I got 100 points. For my other students, like I said, we've had people before with just simple inquiries, right? We think we have to, like, when you go apply for, like, especially when you go to the car dealership, right? I had a guy, he had 153 inquiries on his credit report. I had never seen that a day in my life. Like, I'm like, what guy? You went to every car dealership there was that had those been, but he kept getting denied. And we know we do that. Tax time comes, we go applying. We don't realize that every time they're hitting your credit, it's dropping it 3 or 4 points. So his score, I know it was probably in the 400s at that point. But even once we removed those inquiries alone, he was able to gain back like 70 points just like that, just from increase. So simple things like that, like we gotta remove from our credit. Anytime you get denied for something, remove it. Like don't keep that on your credit report.
Absolutely. And I was just gonna say, like, if you're in jail or prison, like, don't let that stop you either. You should be working on your credit right now. Cause listen, you got a release date, and when you come home, you already want that credit to be A1. So when you do come home, like Keisha say, just add on a couple primary accounts. And listen, study everything you can about it. Like, go to YouTube, look up every credit video it is, and just find out what you can do and what you need to do to get your credit straight.
Yeah, go follow us on IG.
Absolutely.
Credit Reboot Queen.
The credit is king 750, but don't let that be your credit though.
All right. So I do understand. Well, I got one more question. This is the big question that people always ask. I'm going to pose it to you all, right? So in this video, it really seems pretty simple. Like, first, pull your credit. Whatever's bad on there, let's get the bad stuff off. If you don't have good stuff or enough good stuff, just add that stuff on there. And then you go apply for funding. You get the 50 to 100,000. But somebody watching this is going to say, man, it ain't that simple. It ain't really that easy. So what would y'all say to anybody out there that says, hey, look, that sounds too simple or too easy to be true, because they ain't never known nobody to get 50 to 100,000 worth of funding?
I'm going to tell you, listen, you can't, first of all, it's the truth. Like how we've done it, and we've helped hundreds of other people do the same thing. Me personally, just last year when I lost my job, and I'm telling y'all, it's like lost my job, but I was able to get over 100K in funding
with no job.
With no job.
Oh,
why? Because my credit was already in check. I had started when I told you I got those 100 points. Had been working on my credit ever since, building it up, putting on those credit builder accounts, opening up secured products. Y'all, it's the truth. Like you have to put in the legwork for it. That's what, like, we always want to just skip steps. But as long, once you structure your profile perfectly, you can go do that. Like, and you don't have to have an 800 either. Like, I don't want you to think I had an 800, 850. I didn't. You know what I mean? It's probably like a 720, 730. If that, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is my profile was good, and I was able to go secure those funds from the bank simply because I had everything in order. And once your credit is good, they ain't worried about, you know, all the income, because you're gonna take that money and make more money, right? Get the bag and flip the bag. So you got to understand that. And plenty of other students, like the ones that started in February, were able to secure over 6 figures within 3 months. Yeah. We've got, you know, another one who were able to get, like, you know, he has a food truck. So we were able to get him a personal loan to pay down some utilization, which a lot of you might need to do that too. Pay down your utilization, then go get him some business credit cards. So now he can run his food truck like he needs to. But all this stuff is like real life things that you do.
And it is easy. Only thing that work, only reason it might not work if you don't work. If you don't put in the work, then you're going to say it don't work. But when you have people who put in the work, you see the results. Mm-hmm. And credit is easy. A lot of people just make it hard because they don't know what to do with the credit when they do get the credit. Instead of going to get a business or going to open up something that's going to create cash flow, a lot of us get the credit and we go do what we don't supposed to do with the credit.
Yeah. Like we go, you know, like ain't nothing wrong going on trips. Why not let your credit pay for your trips, right? Or ain't nothing wrong with going shopping, but why not let your credit, you know, pay for that? Like go, you know, invest in something, use those reward points, and then go shopping. You just got to understand how to use it. And that the money, the thing is, it's the bank's job to loan us the money, right? That's how they make their money. So it's out there. We just got to go access it.
Absolutely, because there's two kind of debts. You know this, JT, it's a good debt and a bad debt. And when people create that bad debt, and they get a lot of that bad debt, that's when they saying, oh, it didn't work. It just tanked my credit score.
Mm-hmm. And we actually helped a client too who came home from prison, right? Like when you mentioned the prison, came home from prison. His credit wasn't exactly where he wanted it to be. So, but he didn't have anything negative, so to speak, but he just had to build it up. So we showed him some accounts, like we talked about, those credit builder accounts, and showed him how to open up some secured products. He just closed on his house about 2 months ago. So you think about that, from prison, he ain't even been home a full year yet, but he was able to close on his home all because he came home and has got his credit. Like, I ain't gonna even say fixed, but he structured it properly for him. So that way he's good.
All right. So I do understand y'all got an upcoming training going down. So can y'all tell us a little bit of what we can expect to learn if we spend those days with you and learn all about credit and funding?
Absolutely. So we have a 5-day challenge coming up. In those 5 days, you're going to learn how to go get a 750 credit score. You're going to learn how to go secure anywhere from 50 to 250,000. You're going to learn how to start a funding business. We'll also show you how to start a credit repair business.
Yep, and like starting those businesses, y'all, with funding, you know, you can make, between funding and credit repair, you can make 6 figures. And the best thing about it is it's from home. Like, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to be an expert. In fact, you don't have to know anything. But after you leave this class, you will know what you need to know in order to secure those 6 figures.
Only thing you'll need is Wi-Fi and a cell phone.
That's it.
All right. So, hey, links to that is down in the description below. Tap in with them. Till next time, so much to stay hustling. JT Automations, I'm gone.